They're armed. I need backup.
It's a cop.
So with Identity being a huge open world MMO RPG game, it's crucial that its gameplay elements are well balanced and properly integrated. This ranges from the game's economy all the way to the game's online community. And knowing Identity is a game that allows the player freedom of choice on which path he or she wants their character to take. There are bound to be many naughty players that will want to commit many crimes. And with this comes a job of law enforcement that players will be able to roleplay as. And while it's stated that Identity isn't exclusively a cops and robbers game, there's no denying the fact that being a criminal and being on the police force will be a big part of this game for players on both sides of the spectrum, and how well the game will be able to balance these two important systems is something to look into, so it's a good idea to see how the criminal justice system in Identity will work. As part of the police force in Identity, it's your job to maintain the law and make sure the town is civil. You'll be able to track how fast players are going in their cars with a speedometer and make sure no one is speeding. Take orders from your dispatcher, go to a crime scene, or just cruise around making sure everything is in order. Cops in Identity can ticket players if they do a petty crime, but can use force if they have to. If a suspect misbehaves, cops will have tasers, batons, and pepper spray, and will be armed with a gun as a last resort. But if that sounds exploitable in the sense that police in Identity can just go around arresting players and beating them for no reason, then you'd be wrong. Law enforcement won't be able to just arrest you or ticket you without good reasons. There will be countermeasures in the game system to not allow this to happen. And even if somehow there's an exploit in the game that allows this to happen, you would still have to go through the court system, which will have real players as judges making sure that what you did was justified. And if it wasn't, then you could end up in jail and lose your job as a cop. But before you can even become a police officer, you'll need to have a good criminal record on your Identity profile to even be considered. So if you plan on being a criminal in Identity, I'd say it's probably a good idea to skip this role. All cops will need to go into the police station and gear up to enter career mode before being able to go on duty. As a rookie cop, you'll be able to track criminals down, run real actual license plate that allow you to see that vehicle's history, which will let you know if that car has been stolen. You can also pull people over and make them show you their ID, and arrest them if necessary. Although I do wonder how role-playing will work if only the cop has a mic and the other person doesn't, and only uses the in-game chat to talk. But the problem with in-game text chats is that sometimes people don't notice them, or just ignore them completely, which can lead to some pretty interesting scenarios, especially in a game like Identity.
Hey! Someone doesn't understand the law! You realize you're driving like a jackass back there? I need to see some ID. You got ID? You having a problem? Hey, stupid, you drunk? Hey, stupid, I'm a cop. Hey, you know where a nightstick goes? Dispatch, this one's going crazy. Put your hands on your head. I'm gonna have to ask you to step out of the vehicle. Move it! We will arrest you! That's it! Where's my service pistol? Running don't work, stupid! Officer needs backup! Oh, Susanna! Finally someone who wants to play!
If a criminal runs from you as a cop, you'll be able to call for backup, set up roadblocks, and use spike strips to stop a vehicle chase. You can also get special bonuses if you do mini jobs your dispatcher gives you, but these are not required and they won't affect your status as a cop. You'll also be able to choose from a variety of different police cars that you would prefer to use when on duty. Now I'm sure you're probably thinking, well, what happens if I help out criminals? Can I drop guns for people to use in the public space as a cop? Can I give random players my police car? Or in other words saying, can I be a corrupt cop in Identity? Well, the answer to police corruption in Identity is technically no. The developers say you won't be able to just drop random things on the floor as a cop because there won't be an option to do so. As for your police car, it'll always be locked, so anyone can't just go into it even if they break the windows and try to unlock it manually. And if you knock out a cop, you won't be able to just loot his body and take his gun. However, there is no system in place that prevents police officers from helping an event take place and intentionally not getting to a crime scene on time. For example, let's say there is a cop and he has a friend who wants to rob a gas station or mug a person or even start a heist, and the corrupt cop tells his friend to do the crime when he is the closest cop in the vicinity. Once the criminal starts the robbery, someone will call 911 and dispatch will alert all the cops in the closest vicinity. However, since the corrupt cop knows he's the closest one, he purposely takes his time in getting there while buying the criminal more time before all the other officers that are far away get there. The criminal has enough time to get away and gives the corrupt cop a small take of the money, and the criminal runs free and no one has any ideas there was a corrupt cop involved. But that's just one of the many possible scenarios I came up with, so I'm sure some corruption will be possible, but it's up to you to decide. In Identity, you're not just limited to being a rookie cop. Throughout time of being a police officer, you will start to gain experience, which can be used to climb the ranks in law enforcement. This includes being a detective, a county sheriff, and being a member of the SWAT team. Different types of police ranks will have special and different perks. For example, SWAT has access to flashbangs and heavier weaponry, which can be used when there is a heist being committed by another player. Unfortunately, you won't be able to have police dogs riding in the back of your cruiser with you and have them chase criminals, but this is just a minor feature I wish they would add it to the game, although you can own pets in your apartments, but I'll talk about that more in my next video. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe, as I'll be doing a lot more videos on Identity. Also, leave a comment down below and try to think of a scenario in which you think you could get away with being a corrupt cop without getting caught. I'll definitely be reading them. Thanks for watching.